Good morning, everybody. We are back. It is the right side of campus. We are live Thursday, July 5th, 2018. I'm your host, the big man on campus here, getting you ready for another Thursday in sports. Got the weekend coming up here. We'll recap July 4th and everything in between. Welcome in Donnie Rightside. Donnie, how you doing today? We don't have Donnie. He was there. I don't know where he went. But he'll be back, I'm sure, in a moment. We welcome in everyone out there listening. Hope you enjoy the show. We are promoting the great folks at Intertops. Make sure if you're in the market for a new sports book, you're checking out Intertops now. Football season is coming up. Soccer season is in full force with the World Cup. You got a new season there, baseball playoffs, all sorts of stuff coming up. Make sure if you're in the market for a new book, you're checking out Intertops. It's one of the best in the business. I've been around a long time. They have great withdrawal options, great bonuses, and very easy to use. So make sure you're checking out Intertops today when you're in the market for a new book. We'll get into all sorts of things today. We got the the morning headlines as always. Got baseball. We'll go over some games today. No World Cup, and we'll go over a sport right now quickly. Later a little bit that is making some money for people if you know where to look right now. So I'll get into that a little bit later. Welcome in Jay, Walter, Larry, Bruce Shad. What's up, Bruce Shad? Cam, Juan White, Ty Rich, Sonny Vega, Alex, everyone in here, welcome in. Glad to have you on the show today. Hopefully everyone had a great July 4th. I know I did. We'll relive that here in a little bit. Again, I don't know what Donnie's deal is. I guess he'll be up here.
Yeah, lately. No, Skype's been messing with me the past couple of days, so I should be up and running now. But for some reason, Skype doesn't ring or go through anymore. So we should be good the rest of the show now.
So what's up, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Hey, got a nice little 4th yesterday, a little bit of food. Went to somebody else's cookout, which, again, I have a phobia, so I refuse to eat their cheeseburgers if they are frozen, Jeff. I only get the fresh ones made up right at the counter, so always interesting when you go to other people's houses. I take great care on the Weber grill, Jeff. Make sure the burgers are top-notch, A-plus grade. If I'm going to your house and you're cooking some frozen flats out there, hockey pucks, just not interested anymore, Jeff.
Well, your own fault. I think they're quite good, actually. But again, we all have our own things, right? We'll get into summertime food a little bit later in the last portion of the show. Let's recap. Let's go over some morning headlines. Yesterday, I don't know, Cam. Maybe we'll see. Probably not. Probably Friday night. I'll be honest. Let's get into it. Joey Chestnut gets the job done yet again in the hot dog contest. The gluttonous slob that he is, 74 hot dogs, all sorts of calories. I mean, I think 22,000 calories he consumed over that gluttonous reign. But he wins. He rolls. I think he won by 19 hot dogs. The over comes in. I think the over was 70 and a half. Joey Chestnut, the most amazing competitive eater ever.
Yeah, it's funny watching it yesterday because I saw like the tweets come out like, oh, like people try to get into it like Jeff, like they would know, like, ooh, it's hot and humid out there. When's the last time it was hot and humid outside in a barbecue and just like, you know what, I'm really not that hungry. What did that have anything to do with Joey Chestnut going over the total, which was great to see the Sharps hammering the under, especially when a guy out there is literally saying, I am going for 75 hot dogs. Like if somebody says that to me, like, you know what, I have a beat on this competition. You know, as long as I win, I don't care what it is, then I might hammer the under. But when a dude's going for a world record and said, I'm shooting for 75, probably going to put some good weight behind that, Jeff.
I mean, kind of unbelievable, really. I don't understand how this is humanly possible. I mean, I'm sure they just throw this stuff up after they eat it. I don't think there's any way you can actually digest this kind of stuff. You look at some of the other world records Joey Chestnut has. He ate 4.375 3-pound apple pies in 8 minutes. You look at also 14 and a half burritos in 10 minutes, 182 wings in a half an hour. I mean, 55 glazed donuts in 10 minutes. 141 hard-boiled eggs. Christ almighty. 103 hamburgers in 8 minutes. And the best, 53 soft tacos from Taco Bell in 10 minutes. Christ almighty.
The Taco Bell. I can get down with that one.
That's pretty unbelievable. I've never had Taco Bell, but I can't imagine those go down too easily. He also had poutine, which I believe is a Canadian dish, or French, I believe. 25 and a half pounds of poutine in 10 minutes. Jesus Christ, man. I don't understand how these guys do this. I really don't. Like, I was watching a kid yesterday, Donnie, one of those competitive eaters. He ate like 14 pounds of White Castle. Like, he's just eating them one after one.
Yeah, and you would figure they'd be like really big or huge guys, but it looks like they're more athletic shape here because it's about stretching out the stomach. Doesn't really have too much to do. But you figure them putting down that much weight, like they would be like enormous is what you would think. But no, it's not the case anymore.
Pretty unbelievable. Joey Chestnut, the king of eating, gets it done again, and the over came in. A lot of concern about the over. According to ESPN, they gave out the wrong number. They gave out 64 hot dogs, and during the interview, Chestnut mentioned 74, and I thought, oh, maybe they told him the wrong total. But according to people, it was the wrong number. They missed a whole tray of hot dogs that Chestnut had taken down. So over comes in. It was 70.5. Over is a winner. We move on. Nationals. Nationals have had a meeting, a players-only meeting. You know how those go. Nationals have lost, I believe, 17 of 22, I want to say. They've really, really, really struggled. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. We've talked about the Nationals. They just haven't gotten anything seemingly going. Everyone else around them's winning. It's do or die now, according to the Nationals. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's which, as you see, the moniker that I've been tweeting the past couple of days or even week now is the paper champion Nationals. On paper, if you look at that lineup 1 through 8, they should just be destruction, terror, and mayhem up and down the East Coast with the NL and dominating each and every night. They just can't seem to hit. Bryce Harper, hitting around 200 at this point. It's almost like a guy, Jeff, you might even walk up to the plate to get to him as opposed to go after Rendon. But, I mean, they have speed at the top of the lineup. They have contact. They have legitimate career 300 hitters up and down that lineup. Even finding Soto out all of a sudden as a 19-year-old phenom. Nothing seems to help out there. They can't get clutch hits. They can't hit with runners in scoring position. Hell, they can't even hit off of bad bullpens as we've seen in the past week and a half. They're in some trouble right now. And, again, look, you can have all the meetings you want. Like, if you're just not playing good baseball because you shut the doors and air it out, does that mean you can go up and hit a 97-mile-an-hour fastball the next day? I don't really know what the meeting does as opposed to just saying, like, hey, why don't we just get our act together? It just maybe shake the malaise. But you don't throw strikes, you don't hit home runs just because the door closes and everybody yells at each other.
I mean, this team isn't doing anything really well. I mean, 21st in runs scored, 21st in team batting average. They're not really – they haven't looked good seemingly all year. They can't hit lefties. They're 20th in slugging percentage. The offense just isn't very good. I mean, Ryan Zimmerman's not had a good year, which I didn't expect him to have 2 straight years. Murphy's been injured. Harper's had a career bad year. They've had injuries at the top with Turner and Eaton at times. The only one that's really done much has been Rendon. So, yeah, look, they got to get going. I mean, it's the All-Star break now. It's not still June 5th. I mean, we're almost at the All-Star break. You're 7 or 8 games back at this point. You got to start getting going here if you're Washington. There's not really much room for error at this point with them anymore. Got to keep going. OKC, their salaries, I believe, are over $300 million. Why don't you chat about this, Donnie? I don't know much about it.
Which one? What am I chatting about?
You threw in OKC, something about that. I don't know.
Yeah, 300. Yep, just crossed the 300 with the last signing that they just had. They just crossed over the $300 million tax threshold there. As we joked last week, it wasn't quite official yet until I believe Felton had just signed. They're now officially over in one of the smallest markets in the NBA, over $300 million, and don't even have a prayer to compete. It's something you might want to laugh at the owner about, but maybe you look at the owner and say, you know what, man? If I lived in Oklahoma City, thank you. Like, thank you for at least keeping our franchise relevant, saying that you're trying to win, even though we have no shot at it. And there's no other pro sports in OKC. So, hey, look, we'll have a basketball team. We can watch them 2 to 3 nights a week, have some fun, show up at the arena, have a chance to win each and every night, even though you're not going to win a title. But it's interesting to see because normally people are like, what a dumb owner. But then when you think from a fan's perspective, going, this guy's showing out $300 million. So at least we can watch competitive basketball. Something to be said about that.
Settle down, Michael Przewski. Michael Przewski getting a little personal here. Settle down, Przewski.
Yeah, I think I dated his sister back in the day. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, settle down, Przewski. You're getting a little personal here. He's mad because you don't like. Listen, I think you're out of line with the burger comment. I don't know. I think if you know.
No, but no, you can't. See, if you get below, like let's just say you go out and you go to Del Fresco's and you go maybe to another high-end steakhouse. You can't then go to Golden Corral the next night and order a steak. You know what I mean? It's just not the same thing. If you're a craftsman on the barbecue grill and you know what you like let's just say, Jeff, you're really good at making ribs. You make banging ribs, you cook them hours on end, and you've done it your whole life. Then you go to somebody else's house and like, hey, man, just picked up ribs at the local ShopRite and threw them on the grill. You're not eating those ribs, are you?
Listen, I think I don't really eat like barbecue, like the July 4th barbecue kind of burger much. I mean, once in a while, I mean, I'm more of like a burger guy. I go out to the restaurant and get one. I don't cook, so I don't bake them myself. And what my parents make them, they generally make them homemade. But like I was at one yesterday, and they had like the Bubba burgers, and I think they were quite good. Once in a while, they're pretty good. There's something about like that July 4th burger. Sometimes, Donnie, you eat a burger and a really nice roll with the everything. There's something good about once in a while having like that frozen burger on one of the crappy little rolls. I was quite taken by them. I thought they were quite good. But yeah, I'm not in love with them on a regular basis. But I think once in a while, like I don't eat hot dogs ever, except like a July 4th thing. But we'll get to July 4th food a little bit later. We'll get through some top 5 lists. So again, don't give us your top 5 now. We'll wait till later. July 4th, fun day. I think everyone always enjoys July 4th. It's a nice day for a barbecue. Maybe go watch some fireworks. Donnie, what did you do?
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't gone out. I have a kid right now too, as well, which is even all the more reason why it's kind of shady. I haven't gone to see a fireworks show, Jeff, since the 90s. Since the 90s, over 20 years ago, was the last time that I physically got up and went to a fireworks display on the 4th of July. It just doesn't interest me whatsoever. Do you go to see the fireworks or, it's 4th of July, let's go to this local high school, this park, or down to the beach and we'll watch the fireworks go off. Haven't been to one in over 20 years.
No, I hate fireworks. I will admit, they're hard to miss just where we are because, a lot of the little like get-togethers we have are on like balconies and like you can kind of see them and stuff. But no, I'm not a fan of fireworks. I think they're lame. I always have. My mother loves them. I mean, my mother and father go up and watch them and stuff. And I was at something yesterday and they were watching them. But no, I'm not a big fan really. I mean, kids like them and that kind of stuff. But look, they look incredibly bad for the environment, don't they, Donnie? I mean, all that pollution, they look pretty bad, no?
Yeah, they're all over the place now because even Pennsylvania changed their rules where you can buy them now in the state of Pennsylvania. I go into like Sam's Club or if you go in Walmart or go anywhere, you can legitimately buy straight up fireworks where 10 to 15 years ago, the most you could sneak out of the store was like, sparklers at that point. But it seems a lot more prevalent now that people just popping fireworks wherever they want.
Yeah, I know, like at my regular house, like in that area, I hate being around there for July 4th because it's the hood fireworks everywhere. They shoot shit off. Sounds like fucking Iraq around there. But yeah, July 4th is a nice day. You have a little, time to relax. You go to a little barbecue. You see people. I'll tell you what, Donnie, I have some interesting July 4th foods that I like. We'll see if you feel the same. Cheese or meat, Burek? I like both. Doesn't matter to me. Vega, I'll take either or. Burek is good with meat or cheese. Doesn't matter to me. In the hood, there's a fireworks show on every block. Exactly. Fireworks are too loud. Yeah, they are very loud, especially if you're very close. I just don't really get the love affair. It's cool colors in the air. Big deal. Let's move on to the MLB. We'll talk about that, recapping a interesting day in MLB. Always an interesting day in the MLB. Aaron Nola gets the job done, an easy winner against the Baltimore Orioles. Look, I mean, a lot of people beat the Baltimore Orioles. Nothing surprising, but I'll tell you what, the Phillies over the last 2 nights have been a nice run line back if you've had them. Yesterday, they get a big home run from Nick Williams to get it up to pass that run line. They don't look any back. Donnie, 4-1 winner. Phillies get the job.
Yeah, the night before they actually won 3-2 and pulled one out, which I wasn't real happy with that, even though I was on the Phillies money line in that one. But moving over to yesterday, I mean, they were getting no hit by some, just tomato can out of the minors in his 3rd career start until Chris Davis happened, where a simple ground ball turned into a 2-run double, or I guess technically not a double since it's an error, but a 2-run base hit there. And the Phillies never looked back, and the Baltimore never really threatened. Nola was great. The bullpen was great for the Philadelphia Phillies, but that's just Baltimore right now. It's funny, man. You look at that lineup. They should be able to hit, but they're just atrocious at this point, those Orioles. And they move on to play the Minnesota Twins today. I mean, what are they playing for at this point? Just hanging out, just fast-forwarding, hoping they can get down to the Caribbean once, the end of September comes? There's nothing to play for if you're a Baltimore Oriole.
No. Jesus Cabrera. Yeah, I see your question. He asks the same fucking thing every goddamn day, 8,000 times. So, yes, bitch, I have seen your question. You call me a bitch, I'll call you one right back. Yeah, look, congrats. You faded him one time and it got the job done. If your goal is to come on here and break more balls, you're not going to do it. Yeah, I saw your comment. You say the same thing 8,000 times a day.
Ooh, Jesus.
Yes, I have seen it. And yes, I will keep betting on Verlander because he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Idiot. Let's move on.
He's got a nice price today. What is Verlander going at today? A nice even 300. Woo.
Yes. Cole Chaco hit a 17 parlay yesterday. Thanks to you. Good stuff. Good stuff, Cole. 17 parlays. Gotta admit, haven't done one of those in a while. But I respect you for doing it and hitting it. Good for you. C. White, Chris Davis is a disgrace. Yes, he is a disgrace. Great point. We've talked about that before. Phillies didn't play good, but Orioles stink. Well, it doesn't matter. They did good enough. Phillies have done enough. I thought they played very good late in that game the other night, Donnie. That was a big-time play by Maikel Franco at third base.
Yeah.
That was a big play.
Dominguez came in, got like the 2-inning save. Yesterday, they used another guy for 2 innings. But it's about time that Gabe Kapler is actually going back to like maybe a little bit more feel, saying, hey, I'm going to bring my best pitcher in to face Manny Machado, and then if I don't get him, at least Chris Davis is behind it. And, hey, you know what? He's still my best pitcher. It only threw like 15 pitches. Why don't I use him in the 9th inning? And yesterday, the young kid, I believe was Arano, came in the 8th inning in a 4-1 lead, did very well. And Gabe goes, you know what? You did very well, threw like 15 pitches. Why don't you just try the 9th inning? And, oh, my God, it worked, Jeff. Can you imagine a pitcher throwing more than 7 pitches and surviving the inning and going to the 9th inning and his arm didn't fall off? It's amazing when you watch it.
Nationals, we talked about them. They fall again. I mean, we don't have to keep talking about them. They can't even put up a run against Eduardo Rodriguez, just 6 hits. They struggle. Red Sox get yet another win. Garrett Richards was solid yesterday. He gets the job done, and the 8-game winning streak for the Mariners is over. Mariners had a big opportunity, Donnie. I believe the 8th inning. They had bases loaded, no outs.
Yep.
2 straight strikeouts. Had a great play from David Fletcher on a little blue pit. Would have been probably at least a 2-run single for Segura, but a big-time play there to get out of the inning. Mariners go down. Can't win them all, Donnie.
No, but they keep coming after you. I mean, that's a sign of a team that you would like to back, and when you have money on them, always is a little bit encouraging. Even when you're watching from afar and don't have a bet on the game, every inning it seems like they'll get down, Jeff, and all of a sudden, you're right, bases loaded, nobody out, bases loaded, 1 out. Then they get to the 9th inning, I believe got their 2 first base runners on as well. As long as you're giving opportunities, eventually those are going to cash in. Seattle's been cashing in a lot on those opportunities throughout the season, but as long as you're giving yourself a chance where it doesn't matter if you're down 1, 2, 3, or 4 runs with 3 innings to go, at a given time, Jeff, they're going to load up the bases, and you get 1 shot down the line, that changes the entire complexion. Couldn't get it yesterday, and sometimes it is due to some really good plays by the other team's defense.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. Settle down, Bruce Chad. Bruce Chad talking about a parlay hit. You know what he did with the money, Donnie?
Who? Bruce?
Bruce chat. He went and spent it on dominoes, I'm sure.
Oh,
Bruce loves dominoes.
oh,
Settle down, Cabrera. Cabrera, listen, you don't have to fucking search very far to find me. I'll tell you where I'm at in Philly. You can come see me, all right? You can come say hello. Keep in mind, it's like 100 degrees out, though, so I don't know if you want to.
yeah.
Have you guys ever done a grand salami? I have many years ago. I don't do them much. It's really just a crapshoot. Exactly, Dewey. Dewey G getting involved. Let's move on. Astros get the job done. They win again. I mean, this team doesn't lose very often, do they? They get down 4-0, no problem. We'll tie it right back up, 4-4. They get a big time sack fly in the 10th. Winner, chicken dinner. Astros don't cover the run line. No one really won money on them yesterday because you probably laid a big price. A nice win for the Astros.
No, it is. Look, man, good team. They're hard, man. Something like, again, fade Verlander today, -300, man. When you have everything going for you, Jeff, like the complete baseball team, we look at the Yankees. We know they can bomb. When they're at home in the Bronx, they can bomb. But sometimes you say, a little bit of a starting pitching issue here. You might be able to get after them. When you bet against the Houston Astros, right, is it just a straight fade, like just fading, saying, well, they can't win 162 games, so they're going to lose somewhere? When you have the better starting pitching, an outrageously good lineup, a really good bullpen, it's hard to go because, even though, Jeff, it is early, 4-1, 4-2, 3-2, they're down 2-1. Don't you know that one inning's coming where it's back-to-back-to-back or back-to-back blasts or all of a sudden a walk and then Altuve doubles down the line. You got second and third, nobody out. It always happens with the Astros.
Yeah, the Astros, they're a tough team not to crack, man. They are really good. What else do we have here? Mets get the job done. They won 6-3. They were down twice, 2 different times in the game. Found a way to come back, score 6 runs last night. This is one of those weekly things where the Mets score runs. They don't do it very often, but they do it yesterday. Lugo was pretty good. Stroman continues to struggle. Marcus Stroman can't get out of his own way, by the way. Nice win for them. Mets get the job done.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I had the Mets when they're up 6-1, they can't get through it, which always makes me laugh, Jeff, because you see the guys that come in the game, like Gazelman, I think had like 1 or 2 pitches last night and got out of an inning. But the guys that when you bet a team, it's like, they have a solid bullpen, and you're scratching your head going, why is Gazelman and Schwartzak in the game? Like, where's Blevins? Where's Lugo? Like, where's the front line guys here? Like, if you're in the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th with 2 outs, aren't you starting to use your better bullpen guys as opposed to the tomato can trash that you can bring out there? And, of course, the Mets used their better relievers yesterday and got out of it and ended up with taking down a W. And didn't see it there because obviously, who coming into the game, Conley or whoever the hell was, I forget even the guy who was at Oswald, I believe, was pitching in that game. And it goes, 3-4 innings to start and then hands off to Lugo, who's probably one of the better starters they had over the past couple of weeks. And he comes into a nice 3 innings. But nice win for the Mets there. I didn't see it coming. It was one of the games I was just like, you know what? I'm about to just put money down on a fade of the Mets yesterday just because how piss poor they are in the bullpen. That's why, Jeff, you can't bet with emotion,
Exactly. Let's get into today's slate. Not a full slate, but some money to be made nonetheless. What do we have?
All right, let's see what we got here. A couple games up on the docket, Jeff. Braves versus Brewers. Interesting one yesterday. If you're watching that Brewers game, some nice defense being played by Keon Broxton. But today, get some hot bats coming into town. We'll see if Freddie Freeman suits up today, Jeff, after taking a fastball or curveball, whatever he took off the elbow. Looked like it stung him pretty good. But Max Fried's going to be on the mound versus Chaseen. 50-50 ticket split here opened up, right around that 130s level. Looks like 129, 131, 132 at 5 times. So a good number on this one. Fried was really good in his last start out versus the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll see if he can back it up today. We'll see who's back in the lineup for those Brewers. But both these two teams, man, fun teams to back. Both of these teams can rake it at the plate. But sometimes you want to take a look and say, hey, you know what? Atlanta plus money, finally outside of the Bronx, might not be a bad wager at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand this price here. I'm interested in the Braves in this spot. If you know me, you know there's no secret. I like Chaseen. I like the Brewers. Love their bullpen. But you look at this team, they cannot hit lefties. I mean, they're only hitting 229 this year against Southpaws. Max Fried has been great. I mean, his first 2 starts, he's pitched against St. Louis and New York. 11 2/3. He's given up 1 earned run. One concern you have with Fried, though, is having some issues with walks. has to get his control down a little bit. That's a bit of a concern, but he's also struck out 17 batters. So if he can get the walks in line, Fried should be pretty good in the MLB. He's been there so far. I'm not looking to bet Chacin right now. He's having a little bit of trouble. Last two starts, he's given up 9 earned runs. One of them, he gave up 8. He was really poor in that one. At the price that I'm looking at here, at plus 115-ish, 110, I'll take a shot with the hot Braves. They're good on the road. I want Freeman in there, obviously, but I still think this lineup's good enough. Against a lefty, I'm not in love with ever taking Milwaukee.
No, I hear you on that one. I just think it might be just a bit. And again, just looking without going over lineups, you're right, and more depth information. I did watch, and I did bet on Fried in his last game versus St. Louis. As I said, he's a sneaky left-handed pitcher, but still a young guy, though, Jeff. You know what I mean? Where you're going out starting on the road against a really good ball club there that can hit. Because we know the one thing with the St. Louis Cardinals typically is they struggle with left-handed pitchers, which Fried was able to get by on them and have it. We'll see. Brewers are a completely different, animal, so to speak, and also have a very good bullpen to back it up. Maybe not so much a higher scoring game, 8.5, as you're saying, doesn't even anticipated to getting to 9 or 10 runs in this one. Might be a little bit lower scoring. But again, whenever you take a dog, you want them to be able to swing the bats. I don't think there's any question that Atlanta can swing the bats. I think it's decent. If we keep it moving down the list, Jeff, Angels and the Mariners, looks like a pitching change in here, at least updated on my board. Barria is going to be in the game versus Marco Gonzalez, the lefty at home. 80% of the early tickets, Jeff, coming in for those Seattle Mariners. Opened up at 108, 110. Now sitting in the mid-130s. Even Chris showing a minus 140 at this point, over under 8.5. What are you going to get out of this ball game, Jeff? Subbing in, I always like the Mariners. I love Marco Gonzalez, especially at home, a crafty left-handed pitcher. We do know that the Angels can stack right-handed bats in those situations, but in that ballpark, he's done very well. Same thing with Wade LeBlanc, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle 29-15 at home this year. They've been a real rock up at that ballpark. And Gonzalez has been great there. I mean, you look at his numbers, he's gotten the job done. I mean, he's just been one of those solid middle of the rotation pitchers. You look at his home starts, these are 8 home starts, 2.49. He's only given up 1 home run. Strikeouts have been solid, 46 over 47 innings. I've been a big fan of Gonzalez. He's been able to pitch real well. You've been surprised. And that's what they've been able to do. They've been lucky. They've gotten good outings out of LeBlanc, good outings out of Gonzalez, good outings out of Leak. They're winning a lot of one-run games. They've been lucky, but they're doing it and getting the job done. It's a tough game, I think, with the home aspect, with the fact that I don't really like the Angels against lefties, only hitting 235 this year. I lean with Gonzalez here. I think at home, I don't think it's a bad thing to ever just take the Mariners and it's in a game like this. It'll probably be a close one. It'll probably be a toss-up, but I think there's a few things here that make me want to take the Seattle Mariners here. I think betting them at home is, at this point, just a plus money kind of thing you have to look to do every week, every time we play at home.
Yeah, Angels woke up a little bit at the plate yesterday, putting up a numerous amount of runs. They'll get another lefty on the mound, see if they can take advantage of it. But, I mean, I think most people were waiting for Mike Leake. I mean, Mike Leake's been really good, but just waiting for the bottom to fall out. Sort of one of those pitchers, Jeff, that gets a little bit older. If you remember, like the Bronson Arroyos of the world and even Bartolo Colons, like you're trying to do a little bit more smoke and mirrors and actually pitching to your strengths or, having a 98-mile-an-hour fastball at that point. So we'll see what takes place in that one. If we get to our last game here, Jeff, a nice, tidy minus 300 for the Houston Astros, 9-11, 9-12. Rodon versus Verlander. The left is going to take them out. 88% of the early tickets, Jeff, coming in on the Houston Astros here versus the waddling White Sox here on the road. What can we anticipate from this game? And I won't be a part of it, that's for sure.
Yeah, before we get into the game here, I want to shout out our friend, one of the true professionals in this business, Ian Cameron. Want to shout him out. Great call yesterday on the over in the White Sox Red game. I went ahead and tailed it. Great pick by him. Got the job done. 7-4. Wasn't easy, but it was 6-4 for about 5 innings, and they found a way to get the job done. A good call by Ian Cameron, a good handicapper with a wide array of portfolio. Good stuff by him. I'm going to go, Donnie, and look over Rodon. Rodon, I don't know. He just can't seem to figure it out in the MLB. Last year he had trouble with walks. Now his walks are somewhat decent, but he can't seem to get anyone out all of a sudden. His whip's been pretty good, but I don't know. You look at him overall, he's only had about 5 starts. This is going to be a tough one. I mean, you look at his last 3, 19 and 2/3. He's given up 11 earned runs and 18 hits. And 3 of them went over the number. That's a concern against the Houston team that, as we know, is very good. Verlander, last couple starts haven't been very good, but overall, he's an unbelievable pitcher. I don't think he has a ton of trouble tonight against a pretty bad White Sox team. 300's high. I'll lay the 1.5. They should be able to handle the White Sox. This reminds me a lot of just a good team against a bad team. The bad team just doesn't show up much and gets crushed. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's a heavy favorite. Even if you go through the game, I mean, let's just say Verlander gives up 4 runs over 5 innings. They probably still smoke the White Sox just with their bats and going up against Rodon and also, the bullpen coming in. It's hard to beat those teams. So, run line a little bit different than taking money line, but obviously there's a reason why the game is minus 300 there for the Houston Astros. Another game, just real quick to go over that Miami-Washington game. Hellickson's going to take the mound again. Hellickson's going to give you 5 innings, then hand it over to the bullpen, which usually is pretty good for Washington. But those scrappy-ass Marlins, Jeff, and what's interesting to see? They tore that team down, and you see how well Giancarlo Stanton's hitting. Ozuna's not playing all that well for the Cardinals at this point, but if they was in the lineup and also with Yelich, you still had Real Muto on that team, maybe Boer still on that team, that would be a really good lineup for the Miami Marlins. I mean, they're not a very good baseball team, but they're scrappy and playing much, much better than anybody thought they would. I just imagine if they still had their big horses on that team, what they would be able to do, because their bullpen has been tremendous over the past 30 days.
Yeah, I don't have a ton on this. Miami is scrappy, though. I mean, you got to give it to them. I mean, they're not exactly a high-level offensive team. They were basically gutted like a fish, and now they are a fish. How about that, Donnie? Look at that little. You like that little joke I made, Donnie?
Little fillet, a little bronzino down there.
Yeah, but I don't have much on this one. I mean, one team that isn't going to, they're not just going to come out and just give it up because they're the Miami Marlins. They'll play hard. You're getting the Nationals at a pretty good time here. I mean, I wouldn't be in the market as looking to bet on Washington right now.
Yeah, it's again overplayed. Yesterday, I didn't even have it outside of my roundtable play, which ended up winning the under 4.5 in the Cardinals and Diamondbacks game. Didn't even have a play. The over, I don't know if because it was 4th of July, Jeff, and not much was going on where there was barbecues and the games of the day were Major League Baseball all day long. The price is overinflated. I mean, a lot of the favorites did end up winning yesterday, but just didn't believe in paying that much of a price for a lot of stuff. So hopefully we'll get some better numbers. And I see 145s, 131s, 119s out there. I mean, minus the minus 300s out there. There are a little bit better chances here with some value. But yesterday's card, just looking at it, saying, I wanted to take Marcus Stroman, but I didn't want to take Marcus Stroman, Jeff, at minus 175. It was just so many prices were at. I mean, look, I like Aaron Nola. I like the Phillies, but there should no way the Phillies be minus 220, minus 225 at game time. I don't care who's pitching or where it's at. It's just sometimes you see that value out there. You say, you know what, tonight might just not be the day for me.
Yeah, it's not going to get any easier, though, with some of these big teams. Numbers are going to keep going up on them. You're going to have to you're going to have to get in bed with some bad teams sometimes. Let's move on to the World Cup. Not a ton to talk about. World Cup back tomorrow, which we'll get into. You got Brazil and you got Belgium. You got Uruguay. You have France. Big question is, will Cavani play? I think he's absolutely imperative that he plays if you take Uruguay. We'll get some info on that. See if he plays. World Cup, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. Donnie, Rightside. What do we have?
Final 8 out there, Jeff. That doubleheaders Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
You got Croatia, you got Russia, you got England and Sweden. It's going to be fun. Do I think Uruguay can beat France? I do think they can beat France if Cavani is fit. If he's not, no, I don't think they can. It's all going to be about Cavani. Defensively, they're very good, as we know. But I need Cavani up front. He's a master striker. He's a guy that between him and Suarez. And also keep in mind, I mean, Suarez is knocked a little bit as well. I don't agree with that at all. Migliaccio, I don't think they can. But we'll see. We have to see his fitness here. Brazil goes down. I agree. I think Belgium will beat Brazil. As far as Donnie, what to look forward to, World Cup. That's what we're looking forward to over the weekend. It's down to the nitty gritty, as I said. Donnie, real quick, I want to point this out. MLS overs, they're coming in at a ferocious pace. Last night, 5-0 over last night. I mean, these overs in this sport are coming in. I think on a big card, if you bet all the games, just bet over in every game, you'll make money. I mean, you look at these scores. I mean, 3-2, 4-2. Just a wild sport, MLS. They're definitely interesting. Even if you don't like the league, the scores are for sure interesting. I've been looking into them. They've been coming in like wildfire. I mean, Donnie, 4-3, 3-2, 2-1, 4-2, 2-2. That's a good sport for you. You like overs?
Could have a nice round robin down at the Borgata yesterday, Jeff. Where were you on that? Did they take MLS wagers at the Borgata?
No, of course not.
Oh,
By the way,
why not? Go ahead.
I said to Morency, and this might be something to take a look at. Just betting all 4 games in the World Cup, betting all 4 draws, just parlaying them all together, and just hoping that all the 4 of them go to extra time.
Yeah, just go to extras.
I think it pays like 120 to 1 or something. So.
By the way, maybe, Jeff, went down to the Borgata the other night with the wife. Met my pops. Then they had some cocktails. Great time. And you know what I really liked about it, Jeff? Figuring that it was going to be really busy. Had a room down there, nice room. But 4th of July, usually, like, you can't even, like, walk. You know what I mean? Like, it's so tight, compact, and everybody's down there because everybody's off. Love the fact that the Hard Rock opened up and also the Ocean Resort, Jeff. It wasn't, empty is the wrong word. There was a lot of people still at the Borgata, but nice and comfortable environment. Was able to go to the bar, get a drink, didn't have to sit like 6, 7, rows back because they were the only quote-unquote game in town. But sitting at the bar, Jeff, watching the Phillies, and this was before, I believe it was Andrew Knapp might have had like a triple down the line to give them the lead back at 3-2. And I heard something that I hadn't heard like in my life, Jeff. Sitting at the bar, there's 2 guys, maybe about a stool or 2 down. And he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm down. Like, as soon as I walked in, down 600 on the tables, playing blackjack, couldn't get a run. But then I walked back and I put a few hundred on the Phillies. So I'm watching this one, hoping they can win it. And it sort of took me aback. Like, we all hear gambling talk, but finally sitting in a casino where a guy's like, I just put a few hundred on the Phillies. Let's hope they win this game. Felt good, man. It felt real good.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, that sports book is horrific. I mean, it is absolutely horrific. Listen, if you're going down there to just bet on a baseball game, it's easy. It's very cool, easy stuff. But it's just a horrific experience. I mean, the attendants are just horrific. Everything about it's bad. But yeah, it's cool, man. I was sitting talking to someone at the poker table about that, about how, how's it going to be during football season? When I'll tell you what, they'll make a ton of money on, if the Eagles aren't good against the number, they'll make a good amount of money next year. But yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, Sundays, fall day, go down there, watch the game, hang out. It'll be fun. Yeah. And what's great? The other casinos are open. So Borgata isn't as busy. The other night I was there, it was busy up in like when you come in off the parking lot, Donnie, like those little shops, like those bakeries and crap, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Sure.
It was busy in that part. The casino was pretty busy, but once you got back to where the poker room is and the sports book, it was really good. It was fine. It's not too busy.
No, they got. I didn't ask again down there. They have to because again they're just using their race book as the sports book combined together. But you're right. The allure, which they're going to miss out on, which I'm assuming now, I'm playing devil's advocate here because I'm assuming they have something nice in the works. The whole allure of going down to Bet Sports is, Jeff, you want to place your wager with your buddies. You want to sit back, you want to drink, you want to cheer it on and watch it on big HD TV screens. That's what makes it fun with the casino experience. I mean, me and you are hit and run type of guys. We'll go down, place our bets, leave, and it doesn't, phase us one bit there. But the majority of people want to place a wager and then saddle up and watch the wager. You can't have 97-year-old guys with, Coke bottle glasses betting $1 exactas or whatever they are on like the 5th at Dover Downs somewhere or across the country. That has to get moved out. You need that big arena environment that makes it fun where you're not worrying about 97-year-old guys in there with their, just betting with their race forms.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a horse racing guy. I never been, never claimed to be, and never want to. You talk about just a morbid funeral-like atmosphere. Christ almighty, man. I mean, what a just disgusting place. I mean, listen, I get people bet horses and some are good at it, but it looks like a bane of the existent, Donnie, really. I mean, my God. I mean, what a negative, just as a gambler where you don't want to be. I mean, Christ almighty. I mean, you got guys in there that look like they've been in there all day, just tickets strewn about everywhere. They look like they've lost their entire life savings. They're rooting for one goddamn horse. I saw a guy in there, Donnie. I wanted to video it. It was kind of late before I kind of realized, but it was about, I don't know, 11:30 at night. The final races were coming in, and I just went in there to get one of the sheets. And there's this guy. I mean, he's probably in his 70s. I mean, literally screaming at the TV, "Come on, six! Come on!" Like it's probably like his last bet of the night. He's probably getting crushed. And the horse ended up losing, but it's a really sad atmosphere, Donnie. I'll tell you, in that horse book, man.
No, it's got to change. I remember my first taste of Las Vegas. I want to say it was 2002. I had gone out there, and it was the Eagles and the Giants, and I believe they were playing Week 16. Jeremy Shockey, I think Kerry Collins was still the quarterback at that point, but Shockey had a big game against the Eagles, and they lost, and it was basically for first place to get the actual bye heading into the playoffs. That was the year, Jeff, that we had lost to the Tampa Bay Bucks at home at the Vet in the NFC title game, but the Jets ended up beating the Packers and Brett Favre a little bit later in the day. But I remember being there, placing a wager on the Eagles, and it was like a split, even though I'm in Las Vegas, like a lot of Eagles fans, a lot of Giants fans. I'm like, this is so much fun if it, 15, 20 years later finally gets to New Jersey. But I wouldn't even imagine the atmosphere as I'm in Las Vegas placing a wager and, they have 8 screens up there and 1 is on football and 7's on some random ass aqueduct, horse race or whatever it is. That has to change. It will change. And it'll be a lot of fun when it does. But until it does, like, don't expect to go to Atlantic City right now, walk in there and you and your boys in the sports book sit down and get some nice comfortable chairs and watch some baseball games up there, because they'll have it on like one screen, maybe the World Cup on one screen, but it's, the average age in there is 88 and a half right now at the Borgata.
Dude, they need the machines, man. That's what they need. Go up to the little machine, put your bet in, get a ticket.
Well, no, not even the machines, because I walked out. It took me 1 minute to place a wager up there. The machines, again, I like the machines too, because when it gets busy in football season, you want to have as many outlets as you can. But just watching, like, the atmosphere when you walk in, like, all right, I'm looking up, and I was like, there's not a seat available in here, and nobody's young, and nobody looks like they even care that there's a World Cup game on or a soccer game. It's just guys flipping the channel, back to Yonkers Raceway.
Yeah, that's all it is. Harness racing and shit. Yeah, it's bad. Give me the big room. I need the big room. Let's move in, Donnie, to the top 5 list here. We haven't done one of these in a while, but I felt with the summer weather, the barbecues, the July 4th, thought we come up with our top 5 favorite summer foods, Donnie. Barbecue-ish type of foods.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We'll go through our top 5. Obviously, if you're a listener, feel free to comment on what you like. You don't have to give all your 5. Just give us a couple that you like or whatever. Donnie, I'll start it off with number 5. This is an old favorite. It's only made, though, correctly. It's got to be made correctly, or it's not very good. But I think you know where I'm going with this. You've had this. You've had it. It's very good. The old pasta salad.
Come on. Absolutely, man.
With the and I'll tell you what. You got to have it with the Italian dressing. My mother throws pepperoni in it.
Yes.
Nice
chunk of provolone, maybe little chunks of cheese.
Yes, exactly. Ding, ding, ding.
Come on, yes.
Really good pasta salad. Pasta salad, good stuff. Especially with a burger. Maybe a hot dog. Nice little side of pasta salad. Really, really fills you up, makes you feel good. I love pasta salad, Donnie. Good, great little dish on the side. A couple others, Donnie. And I kind of accumulated these together just because I think they go well together. A nice shrimp, little clams, little butter on the side. I like the seafood, the finger seafood, the clams. I had clams last night, very good. Straight out of the shell. Little shrimp action, little cocktail sauce. Gotta love that down the shore, Donnie.
No, you're right. I agree with you that, because I'm a big. I know they always, when you get there, let me get the clams. What do you want them in, red or white? I'm usually a big guy. I like the red. I enjoy a nice clam. It's good stuff, man.
It's not going to fill you up.
Mussels. I apologize.
Nice little finger food. I also am a big. Yep. I've gotten into lately the calamari. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, very good. Obviously, Donnie, we talk burgers. You're more of and I like the homemade burger for sure. They're the best of the best. Nice roll. Nice little tomato, little onion, a little mayo and mustard and ketchup. Great stuff. Little pickles on the side. I gotta love a nice burger, Donnie, at a barbecue.
Yeah, that's 100%. But because again, when you have the good grill and when you know what you like, it's hard for me to trust anybody else on the grill. Just one of those phobias I have on that. Like I'll eat a hot dog from anybody because a hot dog is a hot dog. You can't really jack that up as long as you give me some relish, some mustard, some ketchup and stuff like that. I'm good. Actually, no, scrap that. Never put the ketchup on a hot dog. Mustard and some relish. I'm down with a good hot dog too.
I don't mind ketchup on a hot dog.
Nah,
When I eat hot, I don't eat hot dogs very often. Donnie, the king of summer food, in my opinion, maybe other places in the U.S. don't eat this, but I know in our area we eat it. Sausage and peppers. I mean, to me, that's the king food in the summer. You get a nice long roll. You throw the sausage right in there with the peppers and onions. The peppers and onions must be cooked with the sausage, though. I don't want the on the side. No, fuck that. Throw it all in. No cheese, no nothing. Just straight sausage, pepper, and onions on a nice long roll. Nothing better. The king summer food to me.
Nah, delicious. You're right. There's nothing beats a nice sausage sandwich at any time. I mean, I don't even care if it's wintertime. I mean, I'm down for sausage sandwiches, sausage and peppers all the time. But Jeff, I like a nice piece of sharp provolone on my sausage though with the peppers. I got to tell you, I like it.
I'm not. I don't know where that came about. The normal sausage sandwich. I'm not into that. I like I want to taste the peppers and onions. I want to taste the sausage. Donnie, you mentioned mac, potato, and pasta salad. Good combo there. I'll tell you what. The Amish. I live in Lancaster now, and they make great mac salad, potato salad, all that stuff. They throw it together. The Amish, I'll tell you, are good for the food. They could throw together some great salads on the side, with your hoagie or whatever you're eating. Good call.
That's a rite of summer. It's a rite of summer. Yep, it's a rite of summer, man. You get a nice cool pot, like especially like it's a hot day out, and like mom's is in there knocking out the pasta salad in the morning, throws it in the refrigerator. You get the nice burger, you get the nice sausage, and you get that cold like potato mac salad on the side. Woo! Man, about to have me some.
No, it's really good, man. It's the king, the king of food. Donnie, you a deviled egg guy?
Look, I love food, and I will eat all food. I will eat deviled eggs, but it's not one of those things, Jeff, I'm searching out saying somebody's got to have deviled eggs here today.
But you'll have one if they're there, right?
Yes, absolutely, 100%, yes.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not searching deviled eggs out, but I'll have one if they're around.
Yeah.
Donnie, any other ones that you kind of like that we didn't talk about?
No, just that, like, obviously we hit the foods, which is all fine and good, but just going back, like, it's the 4th of July yesterday, rite of passage, had to have a little soft serve vanilla ice cream with the rainbow jimmies on there, had to do that, and as well as it's not a barbecue on the 4th of July, Jeff, if I can't have a huge hunk of watermelon.
I'm not a watermelon guy. Not into it.
Man, I like watermelon. Love it. Man.
Yeah, I love fruit. A lot of different fruits, but I'm not I can't get into the watermelon. It's too. I don't know. I just don't like the taste of it personally. But yeah, you always like that. After a barbecue, nice piece of pie or a little cake or something. Yeah, you gotta love barbecues. I mean, is that not the king of America, barbecues? I mean, that's so American, isn't it? Barbecue.
Yeah, who turns one down? You know what I mean? Like, yo, coming over for a nice barbecue. Yeah, I'm good. No. Everybody's down for a barbecue, man.
If you don't like barbecues, there's something wrong with you. It really is. I mean, barbecues are just an American staple. And there's nothing better than a barbecue at the shore. It just isn't. Pork roll and egg cheese on a breakfast. Yeah, look, breakfast is a little different. I mean, that's a little bit different of an area, but bacon, egg, and cheese, all that stuff. How many hot dogs yesterday? 74 the kid ate. You put salt in your watermelon, Donnie? No, right?
No, that sounds disrespectful to the watermelon, Kyle.
Yeah, that sounds foul, actually. Yep, potato salad, good stuff. Nice little I want to go back and eat one right now. Other than that, Donnie, what else do we have going on here? Obviously, we'll get into some soccer tomorrow. Also,
I'm hungry as hell right now. Again, all of a sudden, I didn't think I ate enough yesterday, and also I'm hungry again for another barbecue today, man. Damn.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. We'll get into the World Cup tomorrow. Obviously, a new round of games. We'll also, Donnie, I know you're not into this. I just want to throw couple things out about it. I've been betting the big three. That gets going week 3 tomorrow. 3 weeks in, we're starting to see some of the teams really kind of look like the teams to beat in that tournament. And with no basketball right now, it's not a bad little tournament to be in and enjoy. We also, Donnie, it's coming up to that time of the year where European qualifying is coming up. Europa League, Champions League. You're going to see teams from God's green earth from everywhere. I mean, you got some really low-level teams in these games. This is where you really find out about those soccer gurus, all those big-time World Cup gurus. Start betting European League qualifying. See if you can bet on that. That's going on. And then, obviously we have the baseball card as well. What else do we have here? A couple other comments. The IFC Bash is in Vegas, August 24th, 26th. Good point, SBR Forum. That should be fun. I know you and I, Donnie, have been getting together our plans to what we're going to do with that. Listen.
Yep.
I will be in attendance.
This Rightside will be on our way to Vegas.
Yes, we will be in attendance. We will probably be towards the back of the room, just hanging out, breaking balls, doing our thing. I'm not sure that we're going to be. There are certain groups that I won't be intertwining with, but you can come meet me and say hello. Make sure, again, you have stuff to say all season. Here's your chance to come say it to my face and say hello.
The big man on purpose.
Yeah. Donnie and I will be kissing faces and shaking hands.
Babies.
Make sure you see me. You give me a kiss on the cheek. That's how you deal with bosses, Donnie. You kiss them on the cheek. That's how you deal with me when you see me. Everyone have a great night. We hope you enjoy your Thursday. Have a special Thursday. It's the weekend. It's almost here, Donnie. It's hazy and hot down here. Been enjoying it. What do you got going on today?
Yeah, as one famous artist said, it's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. So hopefully this weekend, get some barbecue, some pool action, win some bets, and have some fun, man. Let's do it.
I think he also said Chris style popping on a stretch navigator. We've got food everywhere as if the party was catered. We got honeys to the left,
yes.
Honeys to the right. If you could tell us who said that within 30 seconds, you get a prize. Let's see if anyone knows. Got my hands in my phone.
I love it, man.
Yes. Donnie, what other co-hosts would know the fucking lyrics to that track?
Yeah, I'm a 40-year-old white guy. You would think all I do is listen to Hall & Oates all day, but I'm very well versed in R&B, Jeff.
Settle down, Chaco. No, I don't like that bet. Why would you ask me that? No, I do like the Giants this year. I think they're much improved. Really like what they've done offensively. I think they're going to be a really tough out.
Folks are on.
But I'm not ready to make that bet. Settle down, chat. All right, we got it. All right. I love when you ask someone to tell you something and 8,000 people answer.
It's good. That means they're engaged. If you only had like one guy answer, you'd be like, man, these guys tuned us the hell out.
Yes. No, everyone is listening, and we thank you for that. Everyone answered. And yes, the answer is R. Kelly. Exactly. Who, by the way, was a great performer. I always loved his music.
Yeah, before all the freak stuff came out, man, R. Kelly owned the late 90s, man, into the early 2000s. Absolutely, man.
I've told you before, Donnie, and this is the last thing we'll talk about. I've told you before, I can sing. I've told you that. Sonny Vega knows I can sing. I sang to him the other night on one of the Patreon shows. I can sing, Donnie. One of my songs that I sang when I was a kid was I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. I could belt that out pretty well. Settle down, Wally George. I wouldn't want to fight Cam Stewart. I like Cam Stewart. I don't know if Cam can fight or not. I don't want to fight him. Why would I want to do that? I like Cam. Donnie, so do you believe I can sing? Do you believe that or no?
No, I'm telling you, we're going to set it up. We'll be out there. There's a lot of lounge lizards out there on that Fremont Strip, Jeff. I'm sure if we talk to Zach, maybe somebody behind the scenes, we can get you an hour in one of the lounges just to croon and just take us back in time.
Well, actually, you know what, Donnie? I have to get in touch with our friend Blackjack Fletcher. He's in touch with all those crooners out there.
Yeah,
he's got the lounge singers on standby.
Yeah, maybe you can get up there with the Bee Gees cover band and like belt out a few tunes.
Oh, man. See, Sonny Vega knows. He knows I have pipes. Donnie, the other night, Sonny Vega's Macedonian, right? And I was singing him this. He was blown away at the fact that I knew this song that he heard when he was a kid, and I sang it to him. In Macedonian, I sang it to him. He was loving it. But we'll wrap it up on that note. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks to who's behind the camera? I believe Johan. Shout out to him. Thanks for doing the show today for us. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 10 o'clock Eastern. Everyone have a great night. Bye-bye.
Peace.